Friday Night SmackDown started with a visit from LA Knight celebrating his newly reclaimed U.S. Championship, and it's turned into this. Six-man tag team action. LA, Jimmy Uso, Braun Strowman against Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu, as Solo is getting the best of things early on.
Yeah, Lil Bro battering Big Bro at this point, but Lil Bro belies the fact that Lil Bro Solo grew bigger and meaner than his siblings.
Jimmy looking to make a statement earlier. I got to ask you, Wade, what did you think of what Jimmy said coming out and telling LA Knight his intent is to fight for the U.S. Championship?
Yeah, I've got no surprise whatsoever. We know the kind of competitor Jimmy Uso is, and we know the kind of spinning solo.
Oh, as his spinning solo slam is delivered, and you can see the impact it made on Big Jim.
Yeah, and LA Knight better get used to superstars coming straight after him now. He's got the gold. Solo Sikoa made it clear that he felt Jacob Fatu deserved an opportunity, which again, another act of diplomacy from Solo, who has managed to get that trio back on track after weeks of animosity between them. And this is where they are at their most lethal. Distractions on a referee, cheap shots left, right, and center. And now Jimmy Uso getting pummeled.
And look at the reaction by the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Tama Tonga comes flying over that top rope right onto Jimmy Uso.
Cackling like a hyena. Incredibly happy with his work thus far. Isolated Big Jim. And now putting the wood to the mat.
Solo Sikoa, who came out to interrupt Jimmy and LA Knight, saying if anybody deserves a title shot of the U.S. Championship, it should be Jacob Fatu. Oh, that running hip attack was something extra.
Jimmy Uso knows all about that move, a move he's perfected himself. However, being on the receiving end, a very different proposition.
And remember the verbal assault as well, Wade, as Solo saying Jimmy's always been the failure of the family, and it's time that he realizes it.
Well, it's become an automatic cheap shot in the locker room to unfavorably compare Jimmy Uso to his brother after the past 12 months that Jay has had. Highly unfair. And Jimmy Uso, every bit the equal of Jay, hasn't quite had the same opportunities of late, but that might change in short order.
Speaking of Jey Uso, remember we saw Gunther earlier tonight making his way into this Olympic arena. We will hear from him a little later on. Of course, the WrestleMania 41 opponent for the Royal Rumble winner, Jey Uso. As Jimmy trying to get to his feet, desperate for help. And he finds it in the form of the megastar. Fatu looks to respond, just throwing him into that corner. LA Knight able to get out of the way and deliver the jumping neckbreaker from LA Knight.
The international language of Cavorca spread wide here in Barcelona.
Able to get away from the Samoan drop. Oh, and he delivers big time with the DDT. Fatu just sends him, throws him across, and the super kick delivered as well.
Pain just does not register on Jacob Fatu the same way it does with everyone else. This mat is almost impervious for punishment, but that was a game-changer moment. Yeah!
Jumping, leaping elbow.
Now a rare sight, Jacob Fatu.
No PFT delivered there. Charles Robinson distracted. Meanwhile, Fatu! Short break for Barcelona. More great tag action to come. Wade, I often describe Fatu, all the superlatives you could layer on him, but one of them is just how twitchy and explosive for a man his size. We saw that moments ago.
Yeah, no weaknesses whatsoever in Jacob Fatu, either taking punishment and shrugging it off or dishing every form of high-flying, bruising, technical punishment ever invented in this industry.
And now Tama Tonga setting a very fast pace of an offensive assault.
Yeah, and Tama Tonga at times has been overlooked by the fact that he's got Jacob Fatu and Solo